Hello there, it's the start of May and I'm at Alton Towers to check out the last bit of the Festival of Thrills before it ends, but also to have a look at what's going on at Nemesis, look at the latest construction and just see what else is going on.
Where's Mike?
He's watching Altrincham, I think.
Well, where's Mark then?
I think he's watching Wigan. Or are they playing? I don't know. He's having a
Who knows?
He's having a Wigan kebab. Well, so it's me and Becca today.
Yep. So you definitely don't need to ask us where Mark or Mike are today.
Because we don't know either.
No.
But we'll be seeing him in a video soon, definitely. We'll see Mike at Blackpool Pleasure Beach with me in a couple of days' time, and Mark with me at Chessington for the opening of World of Jumanji. So it's just me and Becca today, so you're stuck with us for now. But yeah, we're going to be checking out just the changes around the park more than anything, aren't we? Because, well, I think we've given our thoughts on the rides a lot over the last couple of years, so we've not got your thoughts on the not the Festival of Thrills, because that's the event, the Curse of Alton Manor. So
oh yeah, I need to do it again.
Yeah, to be fair, we both need to do it again. It's been a while for me and we've not done it many times yet.
I've only been on it once.
Yeah.
It wasn't a great run through.
No, to be fair, out of all the times I've done it like 10 or 15 times. That was probably my worst run through when Becca did it with me.
So we're going to give it another chance before I say anything on it.
Yeah, and then we'll have a look at what's going on at Nemesis. In terms of ride availability, I've seen a lot of horror stories about Alton Towers lately in terms of rides being closed or bad capacity. And also, while I remember to mention this, you may have seen a couple of weeks ago that we hired out the Wicker Man. Well, we're going to be doing something similar again in September, but with different roller coasters, so please keep an eye on our socials for that. But for now, let's go.
Yeah. So even though it's the Festival of Thrills, both Oblivion and the Smiler are both down. No great loss in my opinion, but we won't get into that. What they do have coming though is a few events. So I think the next one's Mardi Gras. I'm not entirely sure on that one. The others are a lot later in the year though, although I don't know when the fireworks is. I think that's right at the end of the season though. November, there we go. So they've got Scarefest. Oh, Oktoberfest will be earlier.
Yeah, September.
Excellent. Can you tell how much I pay attention? But they do advertise it quite well once you're in the park, and it does pop up on the website quite a lot, so they do tell people it's just not for me. I don't actually know what goes on during half of these events. I'm still not 100% sure what goes on during the Festival of Thrills, and I've been a worrying amount of time since. But I think the other events are a bit bigger than this one, so it'll be interesting to see. But they have started building up kind of performance spaces in some of the areas, so they must be planning something bigger.
So Mardi Gras starts at Alton Towers on the 20th of May and then runs into June. Following on from that, it will be Oktoberfest in September, then Scarefest is in October, fireworks first weekend in November, and obviously the Christmas event is late November, December. And I have to say, I did kind of set Becca up there with the event stuff, because I was like, oh, why don't you talk about it? You're good at presenting stuff, and knowing full well that Becca didn't really know anything about those events. So yes, that was a bit of a trick by me, that. But yeah, there's plenty about them events on their websites as well. And whilst they're not something that I am particularly interested in, what I am interested in is seeing parks do more to sort of encourage people to get more involved with live actors and just things that are going on. And you know, Alton Towers is a big place, there's a lot of empty space. If you can fill it with performers and shows and little things to keep people entertained between walking between the rides and between queuing 2 or 3 hours for rides, then people are going to be happy with that. So I think, like I say, these events aren't particularly something that makes me think I have to be there when they first start. I still think it's a particularly good idea because it gets people engaged in what the park's doing, gives people a reason to post about the park on social media, so everyone's a winner. Our plan now is to head to the Dark Forest and see if Rita and 13 are open. We're not having much luck with these rides being open so far, because 13 is currently down, which means the queue for Rita is massive, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It doesn't look the friendliest queue.
No. So we did say in the video we were going to head to Dark Forest, or at least I think we said we were going to do that.
I think so. We're meant to.
Yeah, well, can't remember if we did, but yeah, we're probably going to move on and do something else for the time being, because Rita with an hour and 13 closed, whilst people in the park that we know are saying it's going to be quiet today.
And it's raining now as well.
Yeah, which Rita doesn't tend to like. We know 13 doesn't like the cold and rain. So, yeah, I'm not going to say where we're going this time. We will just rock up at a ride and see what happens, because so far it's 3 coasters down and 1 open that we've seen. So yeah, we'll move on, see what happens, and maybe we will just be talking about food today at this rate. Any jobs going?
You'll probably have to speak to Mr. Alton about that.
All known occupants of the house. That is, aside from the owner's only child, Emily.
We've been on the Curse at Alton Manor 2 times, 3 times in all for Becca and about 10 times in all for me. I know you're not a massive fan of it, but initially the first question I've got to ask you is it better than Jewel?
I'm a little bit stuck on that one. I like kind of the direction they've gone in it, but I'm not a fan of the fact that now it's not suitable for our little one. It's kind of changed audience.
Yeah, I get that.
And that feels a little bit odd. I mean, you don't have kids. It's not the kind of thing that's going to come into your mind. It's not something that I would have thought of in the past. But
no, I
do think it's a bit of a shame that it's kind of left a younger audience out of it. But I do think they've done a good job of changing it up.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. So I think that having done it quite a bit now, starting to get like used to it, so that the hype's kind of worn off a little bit, but I think it's still really good what they've done with it. And taking away the child aspect, I think it's a top dark ride, and I think eventually our son will get into it when he's a little bit less scared of the dark.
Yeah.
Well, I say that at 34. I still put the light on to go do stuff at night when it's dark, so yeah. But hopefully he'll grow out of it quicker than me. But yeah, I do really like it. I think one thing that I've noticed today though is that some of the timings are like drastically out. Like for example, the spoiler alert, for example, the bit where there's the screens and there's the glass screens where she's sat in the car with you, there was times where she was well out of sync with,
she was pretty much behind us.
Yeah, and like the bit where you go into that and there's the glass screen where she sort of crawls up into shot on the screen. It was like she actually came up after the car had gone past it. Some of the audio and the bangs were well out with the lighting, so I don't know where they're up to with it. I know that even though, like, for example, Blackpool Pleasure Beach have told everyone Valhalla's having a tech rehearsal, this was on tech rehearsals as well when it opened. It might still be, but they didn't advertise that, to be fair to them.
Yeah.
So who knows? But there's been a lot of, like, leading into this year, there was a lot of, will Valhalla be better than the Jewel refurb? Currently, having done both, I still think this is better, but I'm hearing that Valhalla's like back to golden ticket levels, so we'll see about that in a couple of weeks. But if I'm being honest, I still think this will be better. I just think that the stuff they've used, they've changed a lot.
Right, time to wear out my arm now. We'll see how long that lasts.
Does that mean I can get in shot?
Yeah, look, you can almost do it. You just have to crouch down.
Oh well.
So it was quite disappointing for me today because everything's out of sync and you're either arriving as things are resetting or just as they've finished. It wasn't even a consistent out of sync. I don't know if you noticed that.
Yeah, some things were were quite ahead of us getting to them, and some things were behind. It was weird because like I say, I've done it quite a bit. I did it on opening weekend, and then the week after, and then the week after that, and a few times since. And I think that I still think they're tweaking it. To be honest, I do think Towers will never admit it, but I do think it's probably still in a tech rehearsal phase.
Yeah.
And I think given a couple more months, it'll be top notch. I mean, like when you get to July, August, which is like proper main season here,
Yeah.
I think it'll be like fully on its game.
Yeah.
But I think if you were to only visit Towers once and you are quite familiar with dark rides, you would notice that stuff's out of sync today.
Yeah.
But I also want to point this out. We're not being critical for the sake of it. I really like this ride. I think they've done a great job with it, and I think, for me, I think it's a hell of a lot better than Jewel ever was, and I really liked Jewel in the early days of it. So I think for me, it's just a case of tweaking it, and it will get there.
Yeah.
But obviously not everyone has the benefit of doubt that we can give it by having a pass. So it's something that I do hope that they can sort out soon, especially with so many bank holidays coming up.
Oh yeah. So one thing that I find a bit strange with this ride is I have to take my glasses off. And I'm not too sure if that's because of the coating I have on my glasses or the shape of my lenses. I have quite bad astigmatism, so they are shaped to try and help with that. I don't know if that's just a me problem, so it'd be really interesting to hear from other glasses wearers that have experienced it recently. Do you find it any better if you take your glasses off? I appreciate not everyone can. I can see without my glasses. Just quite a lot better with them.
Debatable.
I can!
Debatable.
Nah. But yeah, it'd be interesting if anyone else has found that taking the glasses off does help in there. I don't know if it's the lights, you know, because it is darker, or if it's just, it could well just be a me problem, but it'd be interesting to hear if that is another one.
So what do you think of it overall? Because I know that you don't think it's like really bad or anything.
No, I think they've done a really good effort. They've not over-relied on screens, which is good. I mean, I've not had a run-through where most of it's been working yet, so I do find it a little bit hard to give a full proper review, but with the direction it's gone in, I think it's actually really good.
Yeah.
There are bits that I question whether that's how it's meant to be or whether something's not working because of the darkness. A little bit like everyone said when Wallace and Gromit opened. Is something meant to happen there? Is that part of it? And with this one, because of the kind of theme of the ride, you do wonder am I meant to be thinking something here or am I missing something? So other than that, I think they've done a really good job. I like how the story goes. It does change a little bit at one part of it, and I think that could have maybe been a bit more gradual.
Is that the end?
Yes, at the end.
I think that...
Trying not to spoil this for anyone.
I think when you go into the doll's house bit at the end, like we said, there is going to be spoilers. When you go into the doll's house bit at the end, it does seem to take a bit of a like strange turn from what the rest of it is.
And then it rushes through that bit.
Yeah.
It's like they've got a lot to tell you,
yeah,
and they ran out of time for it. But I think that part of it would have been better if it was a bit longer, started a bit sooner.
Yeah.
I mean, personally, I wouldn't have bothered with the spiders bit. I'd have started the doll's house at that bit.
Nostalgia, Becca. You got to keep that in. You've got to keep it in. Are you scared of spiders? But we've been chatting off camera about Scarefest, and sorry about the height differences here. Because like Becca's filming it, like when I'm filming it, I'm like holding the camera dead high up. But one thing we've said, like when I don't know if you've watched the documentary about the original haunted house, but from that you'll have seen that there's walkways above the ride. I think at Scarefest it'd be awesome if they have actors up there with like, for
torches,
example, they could say like the authorities have found the house, they've found what's happened to Emily, they're there with torches and they're searching down on the ride, maybe even incorporate the phalanx into it.
Yeah.
They do like that here. So anyway, we've spoken enough, I'll say that.
Sorry, I'm just changing arms.
We've spoken about this ride quite a lot now, so let us know in the comments what you think about the Curse at Alton Manor, and Becca's now going to go and look at some cakes, I'm certain of it.
Yes.
Yeah, is it cake time?
It is.
She's going to go all Great British Bake Off on you, so let's go and review some cakes.
Caught me looking.
I did.
Well, you can't have like Lotus biscuits anywhere near me not sniff them out, so I had to come and investigate. Although I've got to say I haven't got a Scooby which one's which, because there's just one little card, and then cakes. So matching up which one's which is difficult, but we'll get there.
Where can we see them then?
A good day, are we?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Excellent. Excellent. Lovely weather we're having. Good, right?
While I'm dropping things, at least I didn't drop the cake.
I know, yeah.
If I'm going to drop something though, it's not going to be the cake, is it?
No.
So I had to have one. After sniffing it out, you get the proper side of it.
Yes.
Got the Biscoff biscuits.
How much?
Think I was paying attention. There's $3.95, and I'm not sure what it came down to after the discount. It was £3 something.
Dig in.
I will once I manage to sort my bag. There we go. Right. The big test with these is always how crispy is the biscuit, and it's soggy. So,
Come on, give us your best Paul Hollywood review.
oh, definitely got a soggy bottom. That's well, soggy top. So that's a bit, but that always happens with these. So you can't really. We've got to dig in properly, don't we? We're being nudged because everyone's going for them now.
Yeah. Now the issue is, like you say, there's nowhere to sit.
There is nowhere to sit, and I hate that about this park. You have to perch on things, and it's just really frustrating. Especially for me who can't stand up all day. It gets really, really annoying. Especially after they make you walk for it. Right, we're getting rid of some of this. We're gonna break bits off. So it's actually got... Ooh. We actually get some nice stuff in the middle as well.
Ah.
So that helps. I'm gonna get covered in this.
I know, especially while it's being filmed.
That is very, very, very good. So I've had my cake and it was very, very good. So while that settles, we've come to have a look at Nemesis, or I was going to say what's left of it, but they're adding back to it, so it's just more where it's up to. There's not really a good word for that, is there? There probably is, and someone will tell me. But yeah, we've come to the viewing platform to have a little look at where Nemesis is at.
The Nemesis observation platform is pretty much where you used to get onto Nemesis Subterra or into Nemesis Subterra Q. This viewing area at the minute is basically a monorail viewing area, but it will eventually become a Nemesis viewing area when they start building it out away from just the back corner. But there is going to be plenty to see here over the next couple of months.
Everything is under control. For your own safety, please obey all instructions given to you by the Phalanx operatives.
First things first, what do you think of the Nemesis observation platform?
I think it's a really good idea.
I do.
Might as well, people want to see it, so might as well give them a safe, practical way of doing it.
Without having to shove cameras through fence holes and standing on the rocks and injuring yourselves or injuring something else or breaking something. I think it's a really good idea.
Yeah, I think it fits well with the story as well.
Yeah, there's been a lot of criticism of it that I've seen, like, oh, it's a monorail viewing platform, which is obviously what I jokingly said before, and it is at the minute.
But you've got to give them a chance to do something.
Exactly, when they start building it out, like first drop and first inversion and all that, it will be an incredible viewing point of Nemesis, and it'll be a historic moment for Alton Towers fans. You'll never get this opportunity again.
The thing is, right, if we think back to Icon,
Yep.
the amount of people that know who they are were stood on a particular bridge since there was nothing there every day
I
and
feel
watched
attacked.
nothing happening. Oh no, there was people a lot worse than us.
Yeah.
That just stood looking out at nothing. from that glass bridge and watch nothing.
There was nothing to look at for about 18 months.
Yeah, yet there was always someone there. So, you know, something will happen and it'll start to make sense.
It will. I think it's good that they're doing it. I'm going to give you the camera now, and I'm going to let you talk about what you think about the Nemesis track, and then I'll give my thoughts on it. Go easy.
So I'm not so keen on the new Nemesis track. I think the black is great. I think the artwork on it makes it look very tacky, very fairgroundy. I think it's possibly giving away more to the story that they're doing. I just think they could have done better by putting that, the veins, whatever it is, on the support rather than the track itself. That might have looked a bit better. But at the end of the day, it's not going to change how the ride rides, but I don't think it looks as nice as it could have. I say nice when there's obviously a theme to it, but I just think it's a bit...
What do you think the theme is now? Because obviously originally it was the Nemesis monster was held down by the track, which was its jail kind of thing, its prison. But if it's growing onto the track, is that still the same?
I think it's more that the monster is taken over and the Nemesis is part of the monster now, and you know, a bit like when you get ivy growing around a house or something, it's now part of the house or something. Not sure if that's the best description, but you know, something that kind of slowly grows round and takes control of something. I think that's kind of where that's going. It seems to make most sense, because otherwise why would you have something kind of living internals painted on the side of it? It's a bit strange for me.
It's I definitely think it's going to be a new take on the Nemesis theme.
It's like an advancement in the story.
Yeah, it definitely is. I think I'm going to lower myself. It's yeah, I think it's definitely going to be a bit of a variation on the theme. I think we'll find out more as the year goes on. What I want to say actually is that the Alton Towers marketing team and the people involved with them are doing an incredible job. They're keeping us all guessing. They're letting us see what's happening safely. They've got videos going on all the time with messages from the Phalanx, and you know, I think when it comes to marketing, not many do it better than Alton Towers. I just think they've got it absolutely spot on. The hype machine is in full flow. Everybody's talking about it. It's like, what, 10 months away from opening?
Yeah.
Something like that. And Alton Towers have got Project Horizon on the go. Nobody is talking about it now because Nemesis is what everyone's talking about. Fort Park are building the UK's tallest roller coaster next year.
Arm change.
But everybody's talking about this. And that tells you how good the marketing is. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'll quickly say this. I wish it had just been black, the track, as I think I said in November. But if it still rides well, I don't really care, to be honest. It could have been, you know, Barney themed. I really don't care. I just think it's going to be good. I'm looking forward to it. But please, no vest restraints.
Oh, no, no.
A current ride availability update. I'm currently looking at the app. So we've got Galactica closed, which is why it's awfully quiet around here. Wickerman closed. Some of the coasters have opened, but because there is still closures, you've got things like a 60-minute queue for 13, 60-minute queue for Rita, 60-minute queue for the Smiler, 40 minutes for Oblivion. So luckily, like we were saying before, we've got passes, so it really doesn't matter. Thankfully, Alton Towers have given us plenty to talk about, because this isn't really an ideal day to come and talk about all the rides. But in these Alton Towers vlogs that we're doing this year, we are going to try and find different talking points other than just talking about the rides all the time. And quite amusingly, Galactica is now about to test. Spinball Wizard is now back open here at Alton Towers. I'll say back open, it's actually open for the first time in 2023 after a couple of weeks of closure into the new season, but good to see that it's now open and lots of people enjoying it today. Come to the end of our time at Alton Towers. We've not done many rides. That's a combination of ride availability, but also out of choice.
Yep.
we wanted to come and do an Alton Towers video above all because we've not done one for a while, have we?
Yeah.
Since the event. So there was plenty to talk about with Nemesis and other bits and bobs. So yeah, that's us for the day. That's the beauty of having a pass. You're not required to go on lots of rides. The reason we're stood in front of the Oktoberfest Alton Towers logo is a hint about when our event will be in September. It's going to be during Oktoberfest. Overall though, lots to talk about. It's been a good day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It didn't rain too bad.
No, it didn't. Good to see lots of other enthusiasts about, just chilling like we've done. And yeah, hopefully this video has not been like really boring or anything for anyone that's watched, because I do feel like we've spoke about the rides at Towers a lot over the years, and we will do another vlog where we talk about the rides, but it's better when there's more of us, isn't there?
Yeah.
It's like us two, we've given our views on the rides a lot together, so hopefully at some point, probably during Mardi Gras, we'll hopefully get everyone here, Mike, Mark and the whole gang together, and hopefully we can all have a bit of a day out, do the coasters together, do the rapids and curse Alton Manor and talk about it all as a collective. I think it's always better that way. But yeah, all in all, that's us today. Let us know what you think in the comments, and like I said in the Pleasure Beach vlog, please give us a thumbs up. It really does help. Can you help us get to over 200 likes again? That'd be a massive help. That's all from us today then. Please keep an eye out for more information about our Alton Towers event and more from us soon. So many thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.